Welcome to my stretching and yoga routine. If you are a beginner, please scale the movements and poses to your abilities. After all, you are here to benefit from this video and not get injured. I like to start by getting loose, and that is what you see here. This simple movement gets the spine, back muscles, hamstrings, and shoulders loose. Next, I move into the upward dog pose. This is really good for improving your posture and enhancing your lung capacity. It also strengthens the spine, arms, wrists, and shoulder muscles for visible improvisation in athletic performance. Next, I go into the child's pose. I really reach forward with my arms to get that really good stretch in my shoulders and my back, and I try to hold it for 20 to 30 seconds. And then I slowly transition into the cat pose and integrate that with a cow pose and alternate back and forth. And then I snap into the downward facing dog pose. And then I like to close the gap between my feet and hands by walking it in and ending into the standing forward bend or fold. Now for double jointed individuals like myself, this here comes a lot easier. The weight of your arms over your head really pulls you forward and pulls those back muscles and leg muscles, and you really get a good stretch in. Then comes the forward bend twist. This is another great all-around stretching pose. And if you can't quite get your palm on the floor with your legs straight, just reach as far down as you can and twist the other arm upwards as far as you can. And in time, if you keep doing this, you will get better and better at it. Next is the pigeon pose. This one is a great mobility and flexibility pose, and it's one of my favorite. Cycling causes adaptive shortening, and this is one of those poses that can really remedy that. If you can do it as much as you can, the better off you are. And then there's the lizard pose, another great flexibility and mobility pose. Now, trust me, when I first started doing this one, I could barely get my elbows on the floor. It has taken time and perseverance and consistency to get to where I am right now. So this is my version of the lotus pose. I really like to get those hip flexors, the adductors and abductors really engaged. Now, if you can't get your knees all the way down to the floor, lower them as far as you can go and find something to grab on in front of you and pull forward to really get the full benefit of this stretch. The seated forward head to knees is one of those poses that gauges your flexibility level. There is a continuous pull from the top of your shoulders all the way down your back into your hamstrings and calf muscles. bridge pose is great for your lower back. And to kick things up a notch, I transition into the upward bow or wheel pose. There is no life without muscles, and when you take care of them, they will take care of you. Building up to the plow pose, I like to fold my knees up to my head and hold there for a few seconds before I unfold my legs for the full plow pose. Now with your feet about 3 feet apart, this forward bend with the side to side motion really helps you get a good stretch, especially targeting the muscles behind your knees and your hamstrings. Folding your arms in front of you act as a counterweight and will help with that side to side motion. Now, if you can, try and reach as far back as you can and pull yourself in to really intensify that stretch. And then snap into this forward twisted triangle and hold it for about 10 seconds and rotate to the other side. Repeat as many times as you desire, and this will really help with your lower back issues, and your back muscles will really benefit from this stretch. It is especially important for cyclists to do such movements because we spend prolonged periods of time in one position, hunched over, and this really helps remedy any issues that might want to come up due to that prolonged exposure in one position. not forget about the obliques. Once again, this is one of those stretches that you really have to do on a regular basis to get this range of motion. Introducing a dynamic element like this to your stretches makes it more fun and interesting, and also it gauges your mobility and flexibility as you go along. The easier it becomes, the more flexible you are, and your muscular structure has increased elasticity, which in turn means you will stave off injuries when you're exercising or just doing daily chores. Now this is good for the biceps femoris and semitendinosus, basically the muscles at the back of your leg. Now remember what I talked about adaptive shortening. When you are in one position for a long period of time, your muscles will tend to tense up, if you may, and this will really help remedy that. Now this is just a modified version of the lizard pose, and I like to do this one so I can get one continuous stretch from the quad on the back leg up to the hip flexors and into the gluteus maximus and hamstring into the forward leg. This is a good all-around stretch, and believe me, it took persistence to get my forehead to touch the floor. It's a good partner stretch, so if you have someone with you, they can really help you with this one. So basically they grab your arms and they pull you forward gently. Try and get your elbows down to the floor. That's a good goal to start with, and then you progress from there. think this one is self-explanatory, don't you think? Thank you for stretching with me. I hope you are feeling flexible already. And remember, bit by bit, you can accomplish great things. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.